consider this one of the weak episodes in the Futurama run. It's the Hermes episode that really doesn't say all that much about Hermes. It just gives him like a validation of like his life skills, and the rest. If anything, it's a more interesting episode about like the rest of the crew, Planet Express team dealing with a new bureaucrat.
Yeah.
And it just becomes kind of an episode about hooray Hermes. He's from Jamaica and he's a bureaucrat. He's a unique, funny character. I love Fry's line about how he thought Hermes was this strange like potato man. Like that's
he thought he was a space potato man.
Gee. And I think it's a silly episode that goes nowhere.
Yeah, I never thought about it. Hermes becomes the side plot about halfway through the episode. And the main plot becomes like Fry and the Morgan. Yeah.
I find a lot of the Fry and Morgan stuff hilarious.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
They realized they couldn't come up with a whole episode about Hermes.
Yeah.
So they put him as a side plot in the slave camp.
Because the funniest Fry is a slob visual gag ever is the fact that he eats and sleeps on the same. Like he has like a tablecloth that he puts over a mattress, and then when he needs to sleep, he takes it off the mattress. No bed sheets or anything. Yeah, well, the tablecloth is the bed sheet as well.
And he had milk in his hat in the locker at work for some reason, and turned into yogurt because time makes fools of us all.
Why was there like milk in the cap? Because it makes because initially it's like Fry would put yogurt in a cap for some reason, but then it's just like he put milk in a cap. Like what? Why? It's amazing. Never thought about how Hermes' Requisitioned his groove back. There's some funny moments in there, but once it's over and you think about it, you're like, that's not a good, like, cohesive episode, really, at all. Although there's funny moments and scenes in there. And Bender's funny in it, Fry's funny in it, I think Leela's funny. I think that when Hermes and the Barbara Zoidberg sent them to a slave labor camp inadvertently.
Yeah,
is a hilarious
that is funny, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. There's a homage to Brazil, I suppose, in the central bureaucracy.
Which that's great. Yeah.
All the visuals there is quite cool. Although, it doesn't really... And it's interesting world building into the Futurama universe, although nevertheless, I can't claim that it glues together as a cohesive whole, because, it just clearly does not. Sadly, I wish it did. They were like, let's make a Hermes episode, and they were like struggling to do that, but they were trying so hard, but they put like good elements throughout it. It just didn't really... This wasn't really a good episode so much as like good bits in like a episode's runtime. If that makes sense. It's kind of odd and abstract, but like bear with me, right?
It's a vanilla episode. It's funny, but it's faulty, and it's not really one that warrants watching over and over again or anything. It's the sort of thing that might even turn like a casual viewer off a show, when you get a side character episode that's pretty weak.
Ending on the musical number, which I like the musical number. It's just a bit like, hooray, musical number.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the ethos of the song, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you gotta do what you love even if it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just kind of goofy and funny.
No, it is a funny song. It's a song that, like, it has good jokes in it, but the song itself isn't very good. Yeah. That's a lot of the songs in Futurama. It's like the lyrics are funny, but the song itself is just fucking awful. Terrible.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Hell is Other Robots Accepted?
Yeah, that's the one that does work really well.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
It has funny lyrics, and the backing track is, suited. Yeah, I don't know. The song's just very tone deaf. The Simpsons is a bit the same.
Yeah.
But no movie or show will ever have songs that are more tone deaf than the songs in the Willy Wonka movie directed by Tim Burton.
Oh.
So at least this episode doesn't go that bad, that low. Because if anyone's listened to that, you just know that's the worst example of musical elements in a film or show ever.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to say about this particular episode, because I may have given off the wrong impression slightly, but maybe not, but just in case, I really like Hermes Conrad as a character. I like the cast a lot.
He's a good side character. Yeah, he doesn't need to be the center of focus. That's the problem.
take for example, we're going to talk about an episode coming up called The Deep South, which is a lot of extremely funny Hermes bits in it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Like, especially him as a foil to Zoidberg is exceptional.
And before they just rely on, like, weed jokes for Hermes every episode, he's really funny.
Well, that's kind of a newer
in the new seasons,
yeah, it's a little bit of that, unfortunately.
That's the only joke they could come up with for Hermes.
I don't know.
Is that he's Jamaican, so he likes smoking weed. Like, there's maybe 2 references to it in, like, early Futurama. 2 or 3.
I don't think we've gotten to many yet, to be honest.
No, but
I remember them popping up later.
Yeah, there's only a couple in the whole run.
Yeah.
It's not like every episode, or even multiple times an episode. So yeah, this is nice, because before Hermes loses his identity, I guess like most of the characters do.
Yeah, it's a contentious claim. I don't know if we'll bother talking about, probably not. I don't know, I certainly don't know like 6 and 7.
I can't be bothered. I don't want to talk about...
That's why I called this retrospective the classic Futurama retrospective.
Yeah, nice.
Because at most, I don't even know if we will, but I really like season 5, the 4 films. That retained the classic feel, I felt. Which I feel season 6 and 7 didn't.
Yeah, and trying to talk about those won't work either. Too long.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Are they ever going to do another season?
I think there is going to be another one this year or next year.
They keep saying that. So who knows? Maybe do a contemporary review of that. Nah, fuck that.
I'd watch them. Would you watch them?
Yeah, I'd check it out at least, but it'd probably be as bad as like when I first checked out the Susan Boyle episode.
Yeah,
that was the first one I saw on television of that new Futurama.
Heartbreaking, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I was like, damn, Futurama's really gone downhill.
Because it was atrocious. But I will say the day I did sit down and eventually decided, and it didn't sit for wasn't in a day, but over the course of a couple of weeks, a few weeks or whatever, month to watch season 6 and 7 of Futurama. It was just amazing just to see more Futurama, and it wasn't perfect, but just to see more Futurama was glorious.
There's a few good episodes hidden throughout that could have gone down alright in the classic run, but yeah, other than that, too few and far between.
I agree, sadly, yeah.
But yeah, even like if you compare it to season 2 briefly. Season 2, like we keep mentioning, doesn't have absolute classics or like silly premises and whatnot. But the episodes you want to watch aren't anywhere near as few and far between. It's most of the episodes in the season still. So this one being an example. The version of Hermes Requisitioned his groove back that would have been in the new run of Futurama would have been completely unwatchable.
Yeah. Part of it's like the different kind of humor that's around at the time that Futurama in the early, when it was in the classic run, just doing it for themselves, and then maybe they'll make the fans happy on the forums. They don't really care. But in the age of instant feedback, when they can air the episode and they can get feedback on Twitter or Tumblr or Reddit immediately, they're pandering to the fans, and they know Futurama's got a beloved cult fan base, and they know what they can do to make them happy, and they're because they're just reading. It's the social media age, and I wish the Futurama writers were more selfish, like they were in the first 4 seasons, and less, hey, look, we're writing to the stuff that people want, because that's just not as interesting. I want what's in their heads. I don't want them to try and get what's in our heads.
You might be right, because they started, if you notice all the memes that were about Futurama, most of them were from the new run. Like the Shut Up and Take My Money was from the Susan Boyle episode. The really bad episode.
Yeah.
So, around that time people were memeing all the, I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Yeah.
That's from that new run.
Yeah. Very Reddit-oriented humor.
Yeah, a lot of the...
Reddit is not good.
The memes.
Very bad.
The Futurama became a bit memey, yeah. Like 9gag era meme.
It's like you don't agree with someone, so you're just going to... I'm just going to downvote it. Wow, you're brave.
Yeah.
Pathetic. Just what an absolute disgusting place.
Yeah, you should be able...
whatever.
Yeah, you should be able to have a doxing button where you can just dox everyone.
Whoa, I escalate.
No matter where you go, and it's going to have a live tracker, GPS, onto whatever device you're using. So people can just follow you everywhere. It's like, meet me here, we'll fight, you can't back down anymore. Bring back the non-ambiguity of the pre-digital age.